This video is going to be looking at angles on a straight line. Before we start, we just need to remember a few simple facts that we have looked at in previous videos. So we should know that there are blank degrees in a full turn. So a full turn means you're going all the way around, and we know that should be 360. There are blank degrees in a quarter turn. So a quarter turn would look like that, or potentially like that. If you're going in the other direction, that's going to be 90. How many degrees are there in half a turn and 3/4 of a turn? Pause the video and work that out, otherwise you might know that already. So a half a turn is going to be 180, and a 3/4 turn is 270. If you didn't know any of these already, it's worth remembering these. They're all multiples of 90 and very important to know. So how many right angles would it take to make a straight line? So we can see from here that we're going to have 2 right angles to make a straight line, and we know that each of these right angles is 90 degrees. So as we looked at also just in the previous slide, we know that angles on a straight line sum to 180 degrees. So copy this down if you don't have it. Now this phrase is very specific. You can't just say angles on a line equal 180. That doesn't make sense. You say angles on a straight line sum to 180 degrees. Now, even this is a bit of a shortcut, but we're allowed to say this. What we really mean to say is angles on a straight line, we should really say at a point sum to 180. So you might notice that point is that red dot here. That's a single point. If I were to draw more points here, then each angle around each of these points is 180 degrees, but they're not related to the other points. It's just each individual point has 180 degrees around it. So the phrase that's in the box though, you're allowed to just say that, and it's implied that we're looking at a single point on a line. So let's look at some practical examples or questions like this. What's the size of angle X? This type of question is where you are expected to make an equation and then solve it. So using that knowledge of angles on a straight line summing to 180, we can write this as an equation. So we need to form an equation. So we know that X plus 50 must equal 180, and then we're going to solve this by taking away 50 from both sides of the equation to keep it balanced. That's a 0 pair cancelling out, so X equals 180 take away 50 is 30, so 130 degrees. Now notice it says diagram not drawn accurately. This means that you can't use your protractor to just measure it. You just have to use the algebraic method and the fact that angles on a straight line sum to 180. So here's another example. What's the size of angle X? Make an equation and then solve it. Okay, so hopefully you've had enough time to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it now. So we've got X plus 82 plus 50 equals 180. You're going to do 82 plus 50 is going to give you 132. And then you're going to take away 132 from 180. So take away 132, take away 132. So now we solve the equation that we formed. So X equals, that's a 0 pair, that cancels out. So that's going to give you 48 degrees. Don't forget the units. I think I forgot the units for the previous. No, I didn't. So it's going to be 48 degrees. Now for the next question, make an equation from this and work out angle M. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, so let's work out the answer here. So we're going to form the equation first. M plus 93 plus 52 should equal 180 degrees. So 93 plus 52 is 145 145. That's going to equal a 180. We're then going to take away 145 from both sides. And then we get m. This cancels out. That's a 0 pair. And then 180 minus 145 is going to give you 35 degrees. Okay, next question. Can you show that m is equal to 24 degrees for this? Okay, so pause the video if you need more time. I'm going to show you how to make the equation. So we can say 4m plus 60 plus m must equal 180. 4m plus m is 5m, so 5m plus 60 equals 180. I'm now going to solve to work out what m is, so I'm going to take away 60 from both sides. So 5m, that's a 0 pair, is equal to 180 minus 60, which is 120. And then I'm going to do 120, I'm going to divide both sides by 5. So 5m divided by 5 and 120 divided by 5. So the 5's cancel out, so m is equal to 24 degrees. If it asks us to work out all of the angles, then we know that this would be 24 and this would be 4 times 24. So you'd have to work that out separately, and that would give you 96 degrees. And then you can check that whether these add up to 180, which they should. Okay, is this diagram correct? You add up these angles and you get 180. So we can see that we've actually got 2 points. There's 2 vertices. So there's 2 separate angles that we're looking at. And around each of these vertices, if you have a straight line, these 2 should add up to 180. Now we can see that's not the case here, because 150 plus 10 is 160. Doesn't work. So the mistake this student has made is they've added up 2 separate angles together. So remember, we say angles on a line summed to 180, but we really mean angles on a line at a point. Now in this case, we've actually got 2 points. So this is 2 lots of 180. So this just doesn't make any sense. They can't be correct. And we can't really correct it without more information or some changes. So here is the worksheet I want you to try. In the next video, I'm going to be going through the whole worksheet, but if you're confident to try this out now, you can just pause the video and go and check your answers that I'm going to show you in a second. Okay, so remember, in each of these questions, you are going to form an equation. You're going to solve it to work out the missing angle, and then check your answers. Okay, here are the answers. So check you have got all of these answers. If not, watch the video that goes through this exercise later on. All right, hope that was useful. Smash the like button. I'll see you in the next video.